My name is Jim Estes, and today I'm going to talk about a drill that I think is extremely important for the swing plane. So what I want you to do is, and this by the way is going to give you an instant understanding of exactly the feeling you want to have in the golf swing. Take a club, you can put a rod, alignment rod in the grip, or I'm sorry, in the butt end of the golf club. Take the golf club, turn it like you're going to hold it, and then what I want you to do is take that club, put it right against your left hip, so you're holding both clubs here. Now you've got an alignment rod on the ground and a golf ball. And what I want you to do, getting into your good posture position, your weight over the arches, feel balanced. The insides of the heels are going to be about the width of your hips. Take a swing back, slow motion, and trace with that alignment rod the target line all the way up. The shaft should be parallel to your target line at the top, and then slowly coming down, trace the line. And do this in slow motion. Right into the impact position. So this is a great feedback tool, visual feedback tool for learning the proper swing plane. Go right to your impact position. I encourage you to do this drill in slow motion. And if you have 5 minutes a day, if you do this drill every day, I guarantee you're going to improve your golf swing. So again, I think you'll find this to be extremely helpful. JimEstesGolf.com if you have any questions. I would do this. I would say to you, okay, I want to be in an athletic position. What does that really mean? That means the top of your knees should be about the middle of your shoelaces, and you want to hinge from your hips. Your knees maybe a little straight, but not much. I mean, they could be a fraction bent more. You're standing pretty upright, which is okay. But the fundamentals, you get the club a little on the inside and a little bit, you sort of bow your left wrist there. You can see it sort of. So that was one thing we'll take out of your swing. We want to think of your hands as like in a cast. You know, this angle in your left wrist doesn't change position at all. You take it away with your core. Basically, if I was going to turn my trunk, the core muscles, oblique abdominal muscles, those are the ones that rotate your trunk. And your hands should be void of any movement. So if you look at this example here, you'll be able to see most of the pros all take the club away. You know, you've probably heard of the term one piece. But basically the shaft of the club is going to stay right on that yellow line, which is the original angle of the shaft when you address the ball. And the club head stays somewhere to the outside of the hands. And really what that means is wherever that butt end of that club points, it stays pointed in the same place. So there is, in your case, you're sort of doing that. Once you do that, now all bets are off, and you got to sort of compensate and figure out how you're going to get the club face square. What that does is it shuts the face a bit. So that would be the only thing I'd take a change in your backswing. Club face is what we call a little shut. Now what does that mean? That means the face is pointed more parallel, or pointed up at the sky a little more. That's from arching that wrist. If you watch his club face, it'll be more in line with his lead forearm. So if you measure that at 48, somewhere around there, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's close. So you got a little bit of a shut club face. So from that point, you have to have really fast hips to compensate, or the ball's going to go way left. And then you back up. The way biomechanics works, if you tilt your body vertically, side bend they call it, that helps control the face in terms of rotation. So that would be another fix for a guy that has a shut club face. So your hips don't move a ton you know, they're not fast hips, but you're getting a lot of speed from somewhere. You're using vertical force. You're using the ground. So there's three forces. There's vertical force, which is up and down movement. There's lateral force, which isn't a power source. And then there's rotational force. And you're getting more vertical force. If you watch your legs, they're in a squat position here. they sort of, you sit right there, but now you're going to push up.
Yeah.
You're going to push up hard, and that contracts your abdominals, or your glutes, and then you're getting some power from the ground, which is great. That's awesome. The reason I put a box on your pelvis there is just to monitor how much your pelvis moves forward. That's another cause of a heel strike. So if you look at where your hands are at impact relative to where they start, you can see your pelvis has moved forward probably an inch or so, and that club head is not very wide. So an inch forward means an inch closer to the heel that your ball could be. And if you zoom in here, while you're not shanking it, it's a little heel strike. There you can see that. But so overall, what you're going to see in this guy here on the right is he's going to get out of the way with his lower body a little more. So at impact, most tour players are about 50 degrees open from the address position, assuming it's 0. Most guys are a little open at the pelvis, but you can see his hips are a little more open. Now, am I telling you to do that? No. Some people, will say, well, I want to consciously move my hips. You can't think about a segment of your body while you're trying to play golf. You can work on it as a motion training in front of the mirror or at the range, but when you play golf, you don't want to think about that. So the only real thing I would say is change your backswing. That takeaway is just not good. That's the only thing I would change. Everything else looks pretty good. I mean, yeah, would I want your hips to stay back a little better? Would I clean that up a little bit? Yeah. But in terms of your swing, you have a very good golf swing, and you can shoot with your swing and your power. You can shoot 75 to 85 with a little bit of work.
That's what I'm looking for.
Put a plan together, but it's got to be a structured plan. You got to stick to the plan. You got to measure. Your metrics are such that when you chip from 10 yards, you got to know how close you're getting the ball. You got to know your make percentages from 4 to 8 feet, 0 to 3 feet. You got to track all that and see if you're improving, and then I'll give you a plan, a mental plan too. So yeah, I mean, this is good stuff. The club, yeah. The face is going to be 80% of direction. So in this last swing, the path was to the right. We'll just say 1.9 degrees, so it's probably there. But the face was 2 degrees open to that number. So instead of being close to the path, which it should be for a draw, it was open to the path. So that's just a straight push. So if you're hitting a draw, which is your natural shot, you should have the face slightly close to the path when you come into the ball to get a draw. All right. So hit a few more shots, because I'm pretty convinced. I have another shaft here that's a little stiffer than that one. It's an X-Flex. Guys that swing the club 100 miles an hour with a 7-iron need an extra stiff shaft, not an X. I mean, not an S. I swing about 93, but yeah, I'd put you in an X. And the other thing, with a little stiffer shaft and that club face being shut now, Mike, if you set up for the ball, here's the thing I want you to work on. Go ahead and address it while you're going to hit a ball. You got to change that takeaway. So you're going to feel this. You're going to keep the handle in, club head out.
Okay.
And don't arch your wrist on the takeaway. So just practice that. The end of the club should point right about at the middle of your chest on the takeaway. Yeah, and you need a flat club too, I think. So we're going to make some adjustments here.
Give it another whirl?
Yeah. Control that club a little more in your grip. I want your right hand to rotate a little more to the left on the club, so your right thumb is to the left side of the grip, and the crease should point more toward your chin. And that'll help eliminate the hooks. You have a little bit of a strong grip. It's alright. That's a shank. That's okay. You got to sort of trick yourself and set up, give yourself a little more space. With your body type, you need to be a little farther away. So the end of the club needs to be probably one hand length from your body. It's a little too close to it there. That's better. There you go. Good shot. Yeah, I mean, you hit a shots like that. 2.9 degrees, 173. Let's just see. Now, this is a different head. Forged head, it's less offset. Now, what does offset mean? That means most golf clubs are built in such a way that this is sort of curved and the leading edge is recessed, and that helps people hook the ball. But you don't need any help hooking it. I think you already know how to do that. We still have a lot of built-in technology here with the speed pocket, and we do have some perimeter weight, but it's less offset. So it's more of a player's club. That's a stiff shaft. That's an extra stiff shaft. So I just want to see if your dispersion pattern tightens up with a little stiffer club. Alright, swing it smooth. Take a divot on your practice swing. Make sure you're hitting the ground. Bend your knees a little bit more, Michael. Look, when you set up, if you were playing sports, you'd want to have, there you go, a little more hinge from your hips. You want to be ready to move. Activate your quads. Now, I'm going to move that ball up. You will get that ball back. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that was a really good shot. I don't run into too many people with that much club head speed. Well, that was certainly straighter.
Yeah.
We move the ball forward and see how your path's less to the right? That says 0.5. Before your path was 4 degrees to the right. So we move the ball up an inch and your path was more down the target line.
Well, it actually feels a little bit, you know, I think I've been standing so much upright, I really tense my back a lot just to make sure that...
Well, you should activate your core. Grab my sides here. Watch this. Both sides. Okay, watch this. Grab them both.
Yeah.
So when I tilt my pelvis, you want to activate your core. Because your lumbar spine's not meant to curve.
Yeah.
It's not good for it to curve. Even in lifting, if you deadlift, you know, if you arch your lower back.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing in 40 years of playing golf. I can tell you, I've had 2 herniated discs, and how you stand to the ball is important. Yeah. All right, that club face was a little open.
Yeah.
So one thing I would do is, I would do this. I would play golf by feel. And what I mean by play by feel is, walk yourself through these positions in slow motion. I want the shaft at your right pelvis when it's parallel to the ground, with the right hip. And then I want you to be parallel at the top, or even point a little to the left if it's short or horizontal. And then coming down, I want the shaft parallel. And then I want you to get into impact. So I want you to sort of get a feel for what your body's supposed to be feeling when you hit the ball. You want to be in a straight line here. And you want to just sort of sense and feel that and then try to repeat it. I mean, your path is not your problem. The club face is your problem.
Yeah.
That face was 9.8 degrees open.
Yeah.
So club face awareness is practice. And, you know, think of it like this. Your right palm has to be perpendicular to the ground when you hit the ball. If your right palm is facing up, it's just like in tennis. I mean,
it's going to be a slice.
Yeah.
You're just going to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in terms of grip pressure, on a scale of 1 to 10, you don't want to be squeezing that club too tight, because that'll inhibit rotation and centrifugal force. That club should rotate, just like, you know, it's built to rotate. It's interesting how you're hitting that club much higher.
Yeah, well, a lot higher.
That is really weird. Okay, I don't like the way you're hitting that. I don't know why. It's really strange. It's a super stiff shaft, but usually a stiffer shaft would make you go higher. All right, I'm going to get you a ping club too. I forgot I was going to do that as well. these are very forgiving, but we gotta see, this is a 6.0 shaft, and I want to see if you, I want to see you hit some off the grass. I want to see, you know, how the club goes through the ground and so on. This is a good quality shaft too. So we're going to hit some off the grass, and let's see what happens. I'm going to bring another shaft out there that I think might be good for you. And we're going to hit a few off the grass. That's a good shaft. 6.5 is very stiff. I'm going to try to run around the board. Strong enough. You don't need to worry about heavy. In fact, heavy's fine.
I like heavy.
Heavy's going to be better for you.
Because I have hit my dad's clubs a few times. I'm like, well, it feels nice, but I was like, I feel like I'm swimming in air. Because he's, you know, he's got.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so this is 130 grams. All of these shafts I'm giving you are pretty stiff and pretty heavy.
This is definitely.
Yeah, that one's pretty heavy. That one's 130. This is 130 grams. 10 grams. Alright, so look, for whatever reason, this head works better for you. I don't know why. It's interesting. And this one was an X-Flex. And that's the shaft. That's the club I use, but it's really interesting. Everyone's different. I mean, everyone has a different blueprint based on their swing attributes. Some people.